Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Either way, it's great to have you here. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. It does go a long way. Even hit the notification bell, that way you do get notified anytime there's new content. Before I continue, I do want to say Happy New Year. Hope 2021 is going to be a great year for all of you. 2020 has definitely been unexpected. If you haven't seen my recent video where I do a top 10 of my 2020 sneaker pickups, you definitely should. The reason why I'm even mentioning this is to actually segue into this specific video. The reason why is because this particular sneaker that I'm going to talk about today is mentioned in that video. It's actually in my top 3. But definitely check that out. In your meantime, let's get into this video, because I truly believe everyone, and I mean everyone, whether you're a sneakerhead or not, should know about this sneaker. But enough of me talking, let me bring out the sneaker. So here we go. As you can see, it's a classic Adidas box. You see that classic blue, and you see the signature 3 stripes across, right? And let me just bring it out over here. As you can see with the product tag, it does say Terry Fox 40th anniversary, and this is I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's the Orion or the Orion. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you can confirm that. But nonetheless, right, I'm really excited for this sneaker. So you've already seen it on the channel, but I haven't actually unboxed it properly, and there's so much you need to know about this particular sneaker. So just by first glance at the box, it doesn't look special, right? It looks like a standard Adidas box, but I guarantee you it's not going to be like that when I open it inside. So let's open this up, and there you go. Already you kind of had a peek at the box, but look over here, right? This is not your standard tissue paper packaging paper. This is something really special, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But let's take a look at the sneakers real quick. This is really nice, right? As you can see, the extra set of laces, right? But I'm just gonna put this to a side so we can actually break down the packaging paper. So before I continue, I think it is important to actually talk about Terry Fox and who he is, and why it's so important for me to talk about him, why it's so special to have his sneakers in my collection, and why everyone really should know about Terry Fox and these sneakers. So for me, as you can tell, I am a proud Canadian. You can tell by my Sidney Crosby jersey, but the best Canadian, the greatest Canadian, in my opinion, has to be Terry Fox. Just what he has accomplished, what he's inspired, and the legacy that he left behind at such a young age is truly remarkable. And you know, he inspires so many different people from different generations. As a kid growing up, you definitely learn about Terry Fox, right? For me, I learned about Terry Fox at a very young age. You know, learned about the legacy he left behind, you know, the inspiration that he has on all of us, but really, you know, the fight that he was fighting for, you know, and how much stuff that he really endured. However, growing up and actually reflecting and going back on that, you really do appreciate how much he put in. So just a little background about Terry Fox. He's from BC. He was an athlete, you know, like he was very determined. He was very competitive. Like you think about Michael Jordan, you think about The Last Dance, how he takes stuff personal, but like how much work he puts in, that's exactly like Terry Fox. He never gave up. You know, he's always fighting to the last drop, but he always wants to be better. He wants to achieve that goal. And that's what happened. Like a lot of people don't know, Terry Fox was a hooper, right? Like he loved basketball, right? And he played as much as he can. He put in the work to get better. However, I believe after his final year in high school, they found out that he did have cancer in his knee, and that led to getting his leg amputated. That didn't really stop Terry Fox from hooping, because he continued to play on with Rick Hansen in wheelchair basketball, and he actually won a couple of national titles. But during that whole time, what he realized was when he was going to clinics, when he was seeing his doctor, he noticed that there wasn't a lot of care or attention for cancer patients. There wasn't a lot of research being done either. So the fact of the matter is that he really wanted to change it. And during this whole time, you know, Terry Fox was getting into running. One of his coaches actually recommended that, right, to him to pursue running, and he continued to do that even with the amputated leg. And he actually did run, I believe, a marathon, and I believe he was last place, but he got a standing ovation because even though he was last place, he never gave up. He was determined to achieve his goal and really just always be competitive. Even if you're not going to win, he doesn't like losing, but he is going to go for that win no matter what. I think it was really a combination of that experience of coming in last, yet inspiring so many people, and then seeing that cancer research and awareness is not funded a lot, and it has to change. And obviously, like what everything he's going through personally, I think it was a combination of all of that to really inspire him to do the impossible. And he actually reached out to the Canadian Cancer Society, and they were skeptical about what he was going to do, if he was going to do it. But you know, as soon as he got some more sponsorships and funding, right, they definitely backed him up, and they definitely worked with them along the way. And this is really interesting. When he was reaching out to sponsors, he made it clear, I am not going to endorse your product. You are not going to be profiting off this marathon, off this run. So he did reach out to different companies, and some companies were just okay to really, you know, support him, right? And just give the essential items that he needed to complete this run. That's incredible to note, because even at this time, I don't think how that's possible, but it was done during that time, because I believe Ford is the one who provided the camper. So if you see the pictures of Terry Fox running, right, you see someone driving right beside, that's Ford, right, who sponsored that. And another company that came through was Adidas. And what's amazing is that when Terry Fox reached out to Adidas, he sent a letter, and that letter is what you see here. So that's really amazing that Adidas actually incorporated that into the whole sneaker to tell this amazing story behind the Marathon of Hope. Because even though Terry Fox couldn't complete it, right, I believe he made it to Ontario, it got bad because his cancer went up to his lungs and he had to stop. And it was unfortunate because he did die, you know, like a month prior to his birthday. And even though he didn't complete it, right, there was telecalls, there was a lot of donations coming through. And I always thought it was just a Canadian thing, but actually it's every year. Over 25 countries actually participate in the Terry Fox run. And to this date, there has been over $800 million raised Terry Fox's name for cancer research. I'll put the pictures on chiplifestyle.com so everyone can read it. And really, I think everyone should be reading it, because it goes to show you how passionate he was for his mission. And I think it's so amazing that Adidas actually included this in the sneaker packaging. You know, the fact that they put this as a paper, that's creative, right? But it just goes to show you like how more special this sneaker really is. And I love it because, yeah, I love storytelling when it comes to sneakers, but when you have someone, you know, fighting for this fight that's taken so many people's lives, you know, has hurt so many different families all around the world, right? And for him, you know, being this young kid, right, to do this, like, it's really remarkable and incredible. So definitely check this out. So these sneakers do have a retro feel to them. That's because they did come out in the 70s, but they were very popular because they were seen on the feet of Terry Fox during his epic run from the East Coast to the West Coast, right, across the country. So this is really interesting, and you know, there's different subtle changes. So as you can see over here, right, you do see Terry Fox's name. I think that is so incredible, right? And then you do look at this, right, like it's a mainly a blue navy upper, right? You see the nylon, it feels great in my opinion. You see around the toe box there's the suede, right? And then also like this whole thin EVA over here, right, that it's sitting on, right? And then you see rubber as well, right, on the outsole, right, but also over here like in the toe cap area. So I think that's really interesting. But you know, my favorite detail over here, you know, is the insole, right? As you can see over here, right, you have the Marathon of Hope, right, and you see like the Terry Fox silhouette, the iconic silhouette, right, and it says 40 years Marathon of Hope, because like I said, after Terry Fox's run, right, they actually did this annually, right, since 1980. So it's been 40 years celebrating that, which is amazing. So what's incredible about this as well is that these come with an extra set of laces, right, but each lace is actually different. So when you take a closer look, that's when you actually see it. So this one says somewhere the hurting must stop, right? There's another one that says the answer is to try and help others, which is a really nice one. I actually really like that one. Dreams are made if people try, really inspiring. What does this one say? I want to try the impossible to show that it can be done, right? And then you have this one. I want to set an example that will never be forgotten. once again, amazing choices. I do wish that, you know, there was more laces like these, right? And I wish they kind of sold it separately, even on like the Terry Fox site. So I have swapped these out, right? I chose for one sneaker. The answer is to help others. I think that's such a great quote, right? For me, I do like to help others, right? I always make that important, right? So in terms of that, like, that's why it really resonated with me. The other one says dreams are made if people try. That's really important, especially when it comes to CH.I.P lifestyle. It's something that I really want to continue to grow, right? And it's a dream, but it requires a lot of hard work and challenging hardship into perspective. That is CH.I.P lifestyle. So like I said, right, that really resonates with me. In terms of sizing, I definitely recommend going true to size. You might be able to get away with the 0.5 up, right? But I don't really want to recommend anything below that. Reason being is that they are pretty snug, right? And they do go all the way to the toe area, in my personal opinion, right? So definitely go around with that. If you do go full size up, then I think you know, putting 2 socks on can definitely help with that. But nonetheless, I do recommend going true to size if possible. These dropped 3 times. The first time it dropped, I believe it was May, like around Victoria Day, and these sold out immediately. It was actually really frustrating, and I wasn't the only person that was frustrated that I couldn't cop, because they sold out within seconds. And I think it was because like a lot of people were going for them. And when I say a lot of people, I mean like people that are not even into sneakers or anything like that. I've seen this get covered across all different platforms, like from Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you know, so many different platforms covering it, so many different blogs, right? And I think that's what really kind of created this crazy demand. And you know, it was frustrating, you know, during that whole drop and the release, right? I think certain things could have gone a bit better, right? But nonetheless, right, like I was pretty disappointed. I was looking at resale sites, right, but I'm like, you know, I kind of feel a little weird, right? But nonetheless, right, it was an important sneaker, right? And thankfully, like, it dropped again, and this time on Canada. However, once again, right, they didn't get lucky, right? I think it was like a draw process, right? And you know, once again, I didn't think I was gonna get it, but all of a sudden, right, it was rumored that it was gonna release for a 3rd time. This time I'm like, all right, let me try, but I doubt it. I was already imagining like, all right, I'm not gonna get the pair, whatever it may be. Comes to show, right, it actually went through, smooth release. I don't know if they changed the inventory. I don't know if it was more widely accessible, but pretty much anyone who wanted a pair could get a pair. Like, these were sitting after a while, and although, like, you know, it does feel like a little weird that it's saying that, right, nonetheless, I was actually happy because there's so many different people that would love this sneaker. So as soon as I grabbed a pair, I let everyone know on Instagram that, hey, like, these are available. If you want this, if you want this iconic, amazing sneaker, you are able to cop it. And that was amazing. But what I think what's even better is that all proceeds from this sneaker went to the Terry Fox Foundation, and Adidas, if I'm not mistaken, did raise over $1 million through this campaign. So kudos to Adidas for doing that. Kudos to the Terry Fox Foundation. So let me know in the comments below what you think, whether it's on this video or on the blog post at chiplifestyle.com, or whether it's on Facebook or Instagram at chiplifestyle. Let me know, because I am curious to know what you think about this sneaker, what you think about this review, what you think about Terry Fox. Did you know about the incredible accomplishments, you know, the whole $800 million being raised? Did you know about Terry Fox being a hooper? Did you know how much he actually went through? Were you aware about Terry Fox before this video? I am curious to know, and I really would love to have this conversation. So please make sure you do subscribe to this channel, and of course check out the Instagram, check out the Facebook and the blog post. Your support does go a long way. Until the next video, peace.